If you witnessed something wrong happening to you or someone else, what would you do? Is it truly a virtue to always be harmless and agreeable? Or perhaps real strength lies in the ability to be dangerous, but choosing not to be? Picture this: someone's being mistreated. Maybe it's even you. Do you stay silent? Or stand up and speak out? Dr. Jordan B. Peterson once said, "A person who is incapable of cruelty is a victim to those who are capable of it." This idea suggests that if you're always kind and never firm, even when the situation demands it, you may be setting yourself up to be used or mistreated by those who have no such reservations. In real life, we often encounter moments when we must defend ourselves or others. That doesn't always mean fighting, but it does mean setting clear boundaries, saying no, and sometimes being firm, even when it feels uncomfortable. If someone is always agreeable, always says yes, they become easy targets for exploitation. Imagine someone at work who never refuses a request. Over time, they're buried under everyone else's responsibilities. At home, the same person is walked all over by friends and family. In romantic relationships, they accept poor treatment to keep the peace. Their kindness becomes a liability. Being good doesn't mean being weak, and standing firm doesn't make you a bad person. Sometimes, a strong no is exactly what's needed to stop worse things from happening later. A good person must know when to be kind and when to be tough. The key isn't being cruel. It's having the ability to be firm when necessary and still choosing kindness. That's where true strength lies, not in helpless niceness, but in controlled power. When you possess that ability and restraint, people respect you. They see you're in command, not just of others, but of yourself. And your kindness becomes a conscious, noble choice, not a passive reflex. So the bandit came, but what he found wasn't just kindness, it was inner strength cloaked in gentleness. In a quiet little village where everyone admired the gentle monk, trouble arrived in the form of a fierce bandit. He took food from the villagers, frightened the children, and made life miserable for all. The villagers, desperate and afraid, came together and pleaded with the monk, "You're a kind soul. Maybe if you speak to him, he'll listen. Please help us." The monk agreed. Without hesitation, he walked straight to the bandit's hideout. People assumed he would go with soft words and peaceful gestures, as he always did. But this time, when he stood before the bandit, his voice was calm, yet firm and unwavering. "Your actions are hurting innocent people. This must stop. If you continue, I will reveal your hiding place to everyone." The bandit was stunned. He had heard stories of the monk, the gentleman who never raised his voice. But what he saw now was something different. Kindness, yes, but also power and resolve. "I thought you were weak, because you're always kind," the bandit said, confused. The monk replied with quiet strength, "True kindness comes from strength, not weakness. I choose to be kind, but I can be firm when needed." These words struck the bandit deeply. He stood silent, reflecting, and for the first time in a long while, he felt ashamed. He left the village peacefully, and just before disappearing into the forest, he turned and said, "You've taught me something important. Real goodness isn't about being harmless. It's about having the power to hurt, but choosing not to." The monk smiled, said nothing more, and returned to the village, now safe once again. But everyone had learned a lesson that would stay with them forever. Strength and kindness are not opposites. They are partners. And if you've ever felt like people take advantage of your kindness, or if saying no feels impossible, then stay with me, because next I'll share with you a powerful technique that will change the way you communicate forever. Now that you understand true kindness comes from inner strength, not from pleasing others, it's time to explore the practical skill that helps you live it daily: assertive communication. Imagine someone asking you to take on one more task, even though you're already overwhelmed. Instead of saying yes out of guilt, you might calmly reply, "I appreciate you thinking of me, but I'm not able to take that on right now." You don't need to justify or explain excessively. A clear, respectful no is enough when facing criticism or emotional conflict, try using the fogging technique. This means acknowledging the other person's point of view without necessarily agreeing with it. For example, if someone says, "You're being selfish for not helping," you can respond, "I can understand why you might see it that way. However, I need to prioritize my own well-being right now." It's calm, respectful, and firm. Timing matters too. If emotions are high, it's okay to step back and say, "I'd like to discuss this, but I need some time to gather my thoughts. Can we talk tomorrow?" Assertiveness is a skill, not a personality trait. Start small. Practice ordering confidently at a restaurant. Share your movie preference with friends. Bit by bit, you'll grow more comfortable, and soon, you'll bring that clarity and confidence into more difficult conversations at work or with loved ones. Sure, at first, it may feel awkward. You might worry about how others will react, or feel guilty for putting your own needs first. But don't let those feelings stop you. You have every right to express your needs and set boundaries as you grow more assertive. You might face pushback, especially from people who are used to you always saying yes. Don't waver. Stay steady and consistent. In time, they'll adjust to the new, healthier version of your relationship. And remember, assertiveness isn't just about saying no, it's also about expressing appreciation, giving compliments, and sharing joy. It helps you communicate authentically, both the tough stuff and the good. When you master assertive communication, you'll feel a new kind of freedom. You'll be able to be kind, truly kind, without losing yourself in the process. Because true kindness doesn't come from fear or guilt. It comes from self-respect and inner power. And now, to continue building that inner strength, let's explore a simple yet transformative daily habit: the art of self-reflection through journaling. Now that you've started practicing assertiveness, the next step in building inner strength is to look inward, to understand yourself more deeply. And one of the most powerful tools for that is journaling. Set aside just 10 to 15 minutes a day for this practice. Find a quiet, comfortable spot where you won't be interrupted. You can use a traditional notebook and pen, or a journaling app if that feels more natural to you. The medium doesn't matter, your honesty does. Start by writing about your daily interactions. Focus especially on moments when you felt you were too accommodating, or when you said yes, but really wanted to say no. Describe the situation, who was involved, and most importantly, how you felt before, during, and after. As you write, ask yourself thoughtful questions. Why did I agree to something I didn't want to do? What was I afraid might happen if I said no? How did saying yes affect my plans or my well-being? Be completely honest. This journal is for your eyes only. Then, dig deeper into your emotions. Often, excessive kindness comes from suppressing how we truly feel. You might write something like, "I felt angry when my coworker asked me to cover their shift again, but I smiled and said yes because I was afraid they'd think I was selfish." Naming your emotions is a powerful first step in understanding your behavior. Next, take time to imagine a different outcome. How could you have responded more assertively? What would you say if the same thing happened again? Write out that version as a script. It's like rehearsing for next time, and it prepares you to act with clarity and confidence. As you keep journaling, patterns will emerge. Do you always say yes to a certain friend? Is it harder to set boundaries with family? Note these patterns. Awareness is the first step to change. But don't just focus on what went wrong. Celebrate your victories too. Write about times you said no, stood up for yourself, or prioritized your needs. Even small wins are worth honoring. They build your confidence and give you a roadmap for future success. Another powerful technique: write letters you'll never send. If someone repeatedly takes advantage of your kindness, write them a letter expressing everything you really feel. Let it all out. It can be raw, emotional, and incredibly healing through journaling. You might uncover deeper beliefs. My worth comes from how much I do for others. If I say no, people won't like me. Take time to challenge those beliefs. Are they really true? Where did they come from? How have they shaped your life? Every so often, Go back and reread old entries. You'll probably notice growth. Moments that used to cause anxiety now feel easier. That progress is proof that you're changing. And remember, journaling is like any other skill. The more you practice, the more powerful it becomes through regular reflection. You'll develop clarity, confidence, and the courage to be true to yourself. As you continue journaling and looking inward, you'll find that you're not just gaining insight. You're building quiet inner strength and self-respect, one honest page at a time. Don't worry about perfect grammar or beautiful writing. This isn't about crafting a masterpiece. It's about discovering who you really are and giving yourself permission to grow. Over time, as you become more aware of your thoughts, patterns, and emotions, you'll likely find it easier to speak up in real-life situations. You'll feel more prepared to assert yourself when needed. Your journal becomes more than just paper. It becomes a source of strength, a reminder of your worth, and a reflection of your right to set healthy boundaries. One more powerful practice is to set weekly intentions. At the start of each week, write down one small way you want to stand up for yourself. Like this week, I'll say no to requests that drain me. Double quotes. Then at the end of the week, reflect. Did I do it? How did it feel? What did I learn about myself? This process of intention plus reflection leads to sustainable change, 1 week at a time. As this practice deepens, you'll develop a clearer sense of self. You'll recognize your needs, understand your emotional boundaries, and, most importantly, gain the courage to express them. The goal isn't to stop being kind. The goal is to include yourself in that kindness. When you take care of yourself first, your kindness toward others becomes more authentic, generous, and sustainable. So, what have we learned together? Being kind doesn't mean always saying yes. Real kindness is rooted in inner strength and self-respect. You can be both gentle and firm, both open-hearted and strong. Now it's your turn. Start small, say no to something that doesn't serve you. Write in a journal for just a few minutes each day. With every small step, you become more grounded, more empowered, and more in tune with your true self. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe for more videos like this. 1. We explore how to live a good life, understand yourself better, and build emotional strength from within. Thanks for watching. And always remember, being kind to yourself is what makes you truly kind to others. See you in the next video.